Tragedy on Tinder, the story of a girl's fatal date. In the current era of Industry 4.0, everything can be digitized. Instead of going to the mall to shop, people can easily order online. Instead of going to the cinema, one can easily watch various movies on online platforms. Instead of meeting someone in person to start a relationship, one can choose from potential matches on dating apps. These developments in technology are not inherently bad. They signify a strong technological advancement. However, like a double-edged sword, everything has its two sides. Clothes ordered online may not fit as well as trying them on in store. Movies watched online may not provide the same visual and auditory experience as in the theater, and the person chosen for a date online may not turn out to be a good match. Hello again, it's me, and today I'll tell you about the story of Grace Mullane, a young woman who tragically met her demise after meeting her online date. Grace Emmy Rose Mullane was born on December 2, 1996 in Wickford, Essex. She was outgoing, vibrant, loved the arts, and had a creative mind. After graduating from the University of Lincoln with a bachelor's degree in advertising and marketing, she decided to embark on a long adventure to unwind. Known for her kindness before starting her journey, Grace cut her long hair to donate as wigs for girls with cancer. In October 2018, Grace set off to Peru and spent 6 weeks in South America. As an active presence on social media, she often shared photos of her journey on her personal page, documenting the places she visited and the new friends she made. On November 19th, Grace arrived in New Zealand alone, and on November 30th, she reached the city of Auckland, staying at a backpacker hostel called Base Backpackers. This was where she decided to have some downtime and downloaded Tinder, a highly popular dating app nowadays, and a man matched with Grace on Tinder, a 26-year-old young man from Wellington. They chatted online. At first, Grace was very cautious with this stranger, but after he insisted on having a date with her, Grace finally agreed. They agreed to meet on Saturday, December 1st, one day before Grace's birthday. On December 2nd, Grace's family and friends sent loving messages to celebrate her birthday, but as an active presence on social media, everyone felt strange when there was no response from Grace. Her parents tried to call both phones Grace owned, but all calls went straight to voicemail. After several days of silence and inability to contact their daughter on December 5th, they decided to contact the Auckland authorities, and a missing person report was filed. The police immediately contacted the hostel where Grace was staying, and the people there said that on the night of December 1st, Grace did not return to her room. Initially, the police thought she might have decided to stay with some new friends and for some reason couldn't contact her family. But their speculation was quickly proven wrong when footage from numerous surveillance cameras around the city showed them the whole picture of what happened to Grace Mullane. And the man who met Grace that night was quickly found. Jesse Kempson, 26, his parents had divorced when he was very young and he was mostly raised by his grandparents. Due to his peculiar nature, Jesse was disliked by family members, described as a liar and sick person. From lying about being related to a famous rugby player to fabricating a story about having cancer, he deceived everyone about his life, from family to work. Often evicted from rental homes and fired from jobs due to his constant lying, even on the day he had a date with Grace, that morning he had just been fired. And here are the CCTV footage of what happened. On December 1st, around 5:37 p.m., Grace was seen leaving her building and walking from Queen Street to the Sky City Hotel, where they had arranged to meet. The pair greeted each other with a hug just outside the building and went to Andy's, a grill restaurant and bar where they spent about an hour and a half talking and drinking together. After finishing dinner at Andy's, around 7:16 p.m., they both went to a Mexican-themed bar in the Sky City area. Around 8:30 p.m., they left that bar and went to the Bluestone Room, the couple's third date spot. Here we can see the two starting to become very intimate with each other. At one point when Jessie got up to go to the bathroom, Grace picked up her phone and sent her last message to a close friend in the UK saying, "I and him are getting along very well." And at another point when it was Grace's turn to go to the bathroom, she left her bag on the table, and this is when Jessie was seen picking up Grace's bag and rummaging through its contents. Around 9:40 p.m. the couple left, holding hands and walking back to the Sky City Hotel, where Jessie was staying on government welfare money. They were seen embracing each other as they passed through the main doors, entered the elevator, and went up to the third floor. The footage captured inside the elevator you are watching is the last moment Grace Mullane was seen alive. After reviewing the CCTV footage, the police immediately knew that this man was somehow involved in Grace Mullane's disappearance. On December 6th, Jesse was summoned to the police station for questioning.
Grace. So I was talking to Grace on Tinder. We'd matched on Friday. I saw that we'd matched the next day on Saturday. Initially know that she was real. Someone uses your profile or uses your photos and pretends to be you and then meets.
How does meeting in a public place sort of protect you from meeting someone who's not as good looking as...
Well, there's security there. So if she wasn't who she said she was, at least in my mind I'd feel safe.
Jesse claimed that their date that day ended nicely with a kiss before they both went home around 10 p.m. However, he could not have anticipated that the CCTV footage was not all the police had. Jesse's sinister plan gradually unfolded as each piece of security footage was examined, capturing his every move and action on December 2nd. On the morning of December 2nd, while friends and family were sent birthday wishes to Grace, they had no idea that a cold-blooded murderer was also preparing for that birthday. Jesse was caught on camera leaving room 308 alone. At 8:07 a.m., he was seen at the atrium on Elliott Shopping Center, then entering the warehouse Elliott Street to buy a brand new suitcase. At 8:35 a.m., he went to Countdown Metro Supermarket to buy some cleaning supplies and returned to the hotel at 8:40 a.m. After going up to his room to store the items around 10:25 a.m., Jesse took the elevator down to the lobby, hailed a taxi to go to a car rental shop, and rented a red Toyota. At 4 p.m. the same day, Jesse went to the Revelry bar to meet another woman. She mentioned that Jesse was acting strange, talking about burying someone, and as a journalist she mentioned a murder trial she had covered. Jesse responded that it was insane for someone to spend their life in prison for one mistake. Feeling uneasy, the woman ended the date early and left. At 8:24 p.m., Jesse went downstairs to borrow the hotel's steam cleaner, telling the receptionist that he had spilled wine on the carpet and wanted to clean it up. At 9:30 p.m., he went down to the reception to continue borrowing a luggage trolley, placed the newly purchased suitcase on it, pushed it out to where his rented car was parked, put the suitcase in the trunk, and drove off. At 6:50 a.m. on December 3rd, Jesse went to a mechanical shop and bought a shovel. He then returned to the hotel around 9:30 a.m. At 9:52 a.m. he left again with a full rubbish bag, went outside to dump it in the trash bin. Around 9:58 a.m., Jesse went to a dry cleaning store to launder clothes and then to a car wash to wash his rental car. At 4:42 p.m. on December 5th, Jesse was seen disposing of other items in a trash bin in Albert Park. At 8:43 a.m. on December 6th, Jesse was seen leaving his hotel and returning around 2:19 p.m., unaware that police officers were searching for him right in the hotel lobby. Upon nearing the door and seeing the police officers, he immediately turned around and tried to leave but was still spotted. Eventually Jesse was detained and taken to the police station for interrogation. During the second interrogation, Jesse was forced to provide more details about his date with Grace that evening, including intimate actions. Jesse claimed that when he woke up the next morning, he found Grace lying motionless on the floor and not breathing. The subsequent cover-up actions were because he was shocked and frightened of being implicated in Grace's death. So far, he has continued to deny any wrongdoing. After being formally charged, investigators searched Jesse's phone and found crucial evidence in this case. On his phone were photos of Grace lying motionless, and he even manipulated her body to get the desired image. He was also foolish enough not to delete his web browsing history, which revealed searches for carnivorous birds, rigor mortis, where to buy large bags nearby, and most importantly, Waitakere Ranges, a park in the western mountainous area of Auckland. Based on Jesse's GPS signal, clues from CCTV footage and internet search history, the police arrived at Waitakere Ranges Park. There, buried under a bush, they found the new suitcase Jesse had purchased the previous day, and inside it was Grace Mullane. The autopsy concluded that the cause of death was asphyxiation, a method that would take at least 5 to 10 minutes to execute, according to prosecutors. Based on Jesse's other Tinder messages with other dates, it was revealed that his interests included eating, oppress others, and strangulation. In the November 2019 trial, Jesse's legal team attempted to defend him by suggesting that there was an accident in a consensual situation. Their argument largely revolved around blaming Grace, victim blaming, one of the things I hate the most. In the end, Jesse Kempson was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 17 years for the murder of Grace Mullane. He even had the audacity to argue with the judge that there was no reason to convict him, that he can't wait for the appeal hearing so he can get out of here. And you can guess the outcome of this fool. His appeal was denied, and he even received an additional 11 years in prison after 2 other women reported that Jesse had sexually assaulted them in the past. A fitting end for a cold-blooded murderer. And an even sadder ending for Grace Mullane's family when in November 2020, Grace Mullane's father, David Mullane, passed away from cancer. But at least he passed away after witnessing the one who killed his daughter have to spend the rest of his life in prison. And this is CreepFactor. Thank you for taking the time to watch the entire video. And if you like this video, please click like, share and subscribe to the channel for more interesting contents.